Hello everyone, Shintobean here with another Age of Sigmar 2000 point army showcase. This time we're looking at the Sylvaneth. This is a formidable army of monsters and elite infantry. We've got 3 drops, with the general being the Lady of Vines. You have several choices for the Honor Guard, giving the Kurnoth hunters with scythes bodyguard or the hunters with great bows priority target. If you can take a second Honor Guard, you can give the Tree Lord prized beast, which will make it considerably stronger. The battle formation Lords of the Clan heals each of your monsters 3 health at the end of each turn instead of D3. And while Sylvaneth started off on the weekend at the beginning of 4th edition, major buffs to Wildwoods have made them much more competitive. The Lady of Vines is a monster with only 8 health, so you'll want to make sure she has ample protection. She's a 2-cast wizard, and one of her spells can give a 5-up ward to all Sylvaneth within 12 inches. She also counts as an awakened Wildwood for the purposes of the Sylvaneth battle traits, so she can provide healing and extra teleporting. She's okay in combat, but you don't really want her on the front lines. The next hero is the Tree Lord Ancient, which is a 1-cast wizard. It has a rampage that can cause enemies in combat to strike last. And if you look through the war scrolls of many of the units in this army, you'll notice that Sylvaneth have a lot of defensive combat abilities that trigger before the fighting starts. So in general with this army, you will actually want the enemy to charge you, and you can rebuff them with a variety of countermeasures. The regular Tree Lord can join the regiment of the Tree Lord Ancient. It also has anti-charge with its attacks, and it can cause an enemy in combat to get -1 to wound. Again, this one is much better if it has the Prize Beast Honor Guard rule. Then we've got the Arch Revenant who buffs the Kurnoth in combat, and I've given this one the Spellsinger heroic trait, which turns it into a wizard. With Sylvaneth, it's useful to have those extra spells just so you can cast the Wildwoods and have 3 of them out at all times. We've got a reinforced unit of Kurnoth hunters with great bows. These guys do quite a bit of damage from afar. You'll of course want to be using covering fire with them in the enemy turn, and they can completely ignore the guarded hero special rule with their shooting attacks, making them very good for picking off enemy heroes. Then we got the Kurnoth hunters with scythes. These deal 3 damage apiece. They have a combat ability that allows them to deal some mortal wounds when they get charged. And if you choose to make them bodyguards with the Honor Guard rule, you can keep them close to the Lady of Vines so that when enemies charge your general, they'll be getting -1 to all of their attacks in combat. The Tree Revenants are able to just teleport anywhere on the board as long as they're not in combat, so they're great for completing battle tactics and taking objectives. The Gossamed Archers are a fast-moving unit that can harass the enemy and also be used for battle tactics. They don't have as much damage potential as they did in 3rd edition, but they do cost a lot less points than they did before. And finally we have some Dryads that I converted into the Twist-Wield Warband, which operates best when it's positioned far away from the rest of your Sylvaneth forces, so you can use them for take the flanks, and they have an ability that can reduce the enemy's charge, so they can also protect you from getting outflanked. This is a little Wildwood of my own creation. If you put down a Wildwood with all 3 pieces, the range of your abilities that interact with the Wildwood is increased to 12 inches, which covers a massive area of the board. The Tree Song spell can also bring them right into combat with enemy units, which can mess with their movement. Thematically, the Sylvaneth Endless spells would of course be a better fit for this army, but I don't actually own the models, so I just went with Primal Energy. I do think the Sylvaneth ones are a little bit underpowered though, not to mention harder to cast. Overall, this Sylvaneth battle force is very tough on defense, and has access to a lot of healing, movement, and board control. Let me know if you've played as or against Sylvaneth on the tabletop and how that went for you, but that's it for this one. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.